Hello, my name is Kate Tombaugh. I'm a mezzo-soprano originally from Streator, Illinois, and a 2007 graduate from Illinois Wesleyan University. I want to especially thank Dr. LeRae, Dr. Hudson, Jane Smolin, and Robert Mangialardi for making this event possible. I would like to also thank my husband, Dr. Stephen Weimer, and my parents, Larry and Kathy Tombaugh. We have a wonderful village of friends and family. But those three in particular have helped a lot in terms of support and childcare to make all the content you're about to see possible. So thank you. I'd also like to thank my collaborators who are watching this as well. Rachel J. Peters, Drew Dolan, and Jennifer McGuire. As you will see, they are wildly talented, but also wonderful people and have become very dear friends of mine through these collaborations. And I'm so grateful anytime that a consummate artist who's also a really great person entrusts me with their work and agrees to collaborate. I learned so much from each of them and want to thank them specifically for that. I'm very excited to give you just a small sampling of the wonderful work that composers Rachel J. Peters and Drew Dolan create. Rachel is originally from St. Louis and now based in Brooklyn, New York, and she is the lyricist and composer of 6 songs that you'll hear today, save for Sigh No More, which has text by Shakespeare. Drew Dolan is originally from Georgia and now based in Cincinnati, Ohio. He's a percussionist and a composer, and both the 6-song set and the song cycle Echoes of the Hatchet have been in the works for a few years now with the plan to premiere them at an earlier time, but life circumstances and COVID kind of put that off for a while, which is why I'm so excited to be able to finally share them with you today. You'll probably notice that there are costume changes and different hairstyles across the span of Rachel's songs. This was actually my first time ever trying to collaborate virtually and long distance and edit piano with voice, with visual and audio. And I'm so grateful that Jennifer and Rachel trusted me enough to let me embark on this new endeavor. In the spring, when it became clear that we would have to postpone the Midwest premiere of these 6 songs once again, we decided to record them over the span of 6 weeks. So you'll get to hear 3 of Rachel's songs, Sigh No More, Moon and Planet, followed by Inhibitionist, and then we will get to hear the world premiere of Drew Dolan's song cycle, Echoes of the Hatchet, which is based on the life and texts of Carrie A. Nation, who is a very prominent, interesting historical figure in American history. And then we will have 3 more of Rachel's songs, I Have Songs, Mediocre Man, and Spam I Am. I hope you enjoy them, and thanks so much for listening.
Sigh No More takes its text from William Shakespeare's play, Much Ado About Nothing, but it is not from any production of that play. So I wrote this song to enter into a contest that the Royal Shakespeare Company was having for some festival. And I went ahead and wrote it and had a singer learn it and recorded it. And then I went back and I looked at the fine print after I had entered the contest and realized that there was some technicality that made me completely ineligible. So again, thank you, Kate, for letting this song live as it is now.
Sigh not so, but let them
to one thing constant never, then sigh not so, but let them go, and be you blithe and bonny, converting all your sounds of woe, 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 into hey nanny nanny, hey nanny nanny, hey nanny nanny, hey nanny nanny, sigh no more, sigh no more, sigh no more, hey nanny nanny. Moon and Planet is a song that I wrote a very long time ago when I had fallen madly in love with a man who was quite happily married and would never love me back, and for whatever reason he didn't wear a ring. And so I found an astronomy metaphor in this that I just spun out as far as I could, and here's the result. You are a strange, distant planet. I am a moon circling you. I make one more revolution, and I adore every view. You are the reason I'm in orbit. I set the turning of your tide. We glide among the constellations. We're silent side by side. You wear no ring round your planet. I see it there all the same. I must obey laws of physics. I never dare speak your name. Against the canvas of the darkness, I glow and show my smile by night, until I slip into the morning, tomorrow's borrowed light, and explorers land every now and then, taking one small step, sailing home again, but no telescope and no souvenir give them hope to breathe in this atmosphere. They make it all too clear. I can never breathe in the atmosphere. I can never reach thine arm right here. If I could close the space between us, give it to gravitation's power, crash through this hell they call the maverick, and finally but I'm suspended forever. We retrace the rings we're fated to. Each time you turn, do you see me? Content to be circling you. Inhibitionist was a song that I wrote in 2013, and the title is a word that I think is not actually a word that I started frequently using to describe myself. I found myself surrounded by the message that in order to be an empowered woman, you had to be naked and having sex all the time, and that didn't really feel like me. So I had an idea for this song, but I didn't actually write it until about 3 years later, because that's what a deadline will do for you. And it is my dream someday to have Ani DeFranco sing this song. I don't think that'll ever happen, but in the meantime, I'm very happy that Kate is singing it.
I'm an inhibitionist. Keep my trench coat buttoned tightly. No need to shield your eyes as you pass by. I'm an inhibitionist. Hate the center of attention. You might say I get off on being shy. Every corner has a billboard with some lady in her undies and her nipples at attention 10 feet tall. When the world's a sexy funhouse, staying covered up is shocking. I'm afraid 'cause I don't dare to bear it all. And Victoria's Secret is she's just like me. We worry you won't like what we reveal ourselves to be. She says there's power in her silent spread. I say it's powerful to speak the truth instead. I'm an inhibitionist. With a mind inside my body, I never hesitate to flash my wits. I'm an inhibitionist. Surely someone loves a female whose sense of humor's bigger than her tits. This is not about religion. I am not concerned with virtue. I do not think sexuality's a sin. Just if everybody's naked, then the nakedness means nothing. We're still terrified of what's beneath the skin. And I wonder what girls from 5 to 53 who stare up at that billboard think a woman's supposed to be. Products make beauty, God's a Barbie doll. Ready yourself for some eternal booty call. The magazines sell you the best positions for his pleasure. The magazines tell you a handjob's all about torque. If that's what you want to hire a mechanic. I'll stay in the shadows like a certified dork. Our atmosphere's lousy with techniques to perfect. No one writes articles on how to connect. We're all inhibitionists. If you dig beneath the surface, appearances are not as they appear. Here's to inhibitionists. Let's escape the sexy funhouse, strip down past our anxiety and fear, and show the world whatever we are right now, right here. Who wants to be the first to volunteer?
I will say this about working in new compositions. I don't think that there's anything that challenges me and raises my level of musicianship the way that it does when I work with a composer. Composers are really, really smart musicians. So even just being around them, you kind of start to get a little bit smarter, I feel. And they're actually very, very normal people and very approachable. In fact, I find that they're thrilled when you want to work on something that they've created. It's very, very hard to get your work out there as a composer. It takes so much time to even just create, but then to actually get to the premiere and get to hear how a piece comes together, and then to have performances beyond the premiere. It's a very, very challenging thing to do. And so anything we can do to build them up and help promote them is a great thing, because I really feel like the classics are solid. They're not going anywhere, but we are a stronger art form when we continue bringing in new works, new voices, and raising those sorts of things up. I also feel like it has changed how I approach every piece of music I sing now, after lots of experiences working with composers and getting to be a part of premieres. It's a very empowering thing, really, because you start to become more of a collaborator, more of a partner in the process of creating the music. You get to have discussions with the composers, with the librettists, and it has changed how I approach more standard works, even if the composer or lyricist has been deceased for a long time now. I I have this new attention to detail, this new kind of renewed energy about how to approach something as if I'm working with them in that moment. And also, I think it helps to bring something that was created a long time ago into the context of where we are now, making it even more relevant for our audiences.
Hello, everyone. My name is Drew Dolan, and thank you so much for listening to this online premiere of Echoes of the Hatchet. So, this song cycle came from one of the aspects of American history that I have found really fascinating for a very long time, which is the history of the temperance movement and prohibition in America. And one of the most interesting figures to come out of that time period is that of Carrie A. Nation, who was an activist within the temperance movement, and around just over 100 years ago, around the turn of the 20th century, she became a figure of national prominence for traveling around the country to bars and saloons and smashing them to pieces with rocks and hatchets, for which she gained quite a following in this campaign, which came to be known as Hatchetations. For this, she was arrested several dozen times, again became famous around the country and eventually around the world for her activities with this. And so the text for this song cycle came from her autobiography. It involves some passages which are from Carrie Nation's own perspective, and also involves some poems and songs and hymns that are about her and about the temperance movement in general, which are all included here. So a big thank you to Kate Tombaugh. She's put together a wonderful video performance of the song cycle, and I really hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much.
justice and right, and with a brave mother courage, knowing your cause was right. You've awakened the mothers to action, whose powers have long dormant been, while the minions of Satan have strained every nerve. To ruin our boys and men. The mother would vote to save the boy. The mother would do nothing to injure her boy. The mother makes a good citizen of her son. The saloon man votes to make drunkards. The saloon man does all to injure. The saloon man makes bad citizens. Armed with one little Sometimes a rock, sometimes a hatchet. God told me to use these to smash that which has smashed, and will smash hearts and souls. The sound of this loving deed will set conscience and hearts, and while I cannot finish the smashing, the voter of this nation will use their ballots that will, and this impulse will carry a nation. A nation, a nation cannot rise higher than the mothers. Free men must be the sons of free women. Pray for me. Pray for me. That I may finish my course with joy, the ministry which I have received of the Lord Jesus. Carry a nation, your loving home defender.
I Have Songs resulted from a conversation that I had with a friend and collaborator, Martin Hennessy. We were sitting at a concert and he said, you know, I really like this song of yours. And I realized that the song that he was talking about was written in 2000. And at that time it was 2018. And I realized, hey, you know what? That song is old enough to vote. And I thought, oh gosh, I have songs that are old enough to do a lot of things. And so I Have Songs is a list of songs that can do a lot of different kinds of things. I have to say I owe a lot to Ogden Nash when it comes to the lyrics. Please enjoy.
I have songs old enough to cast a ballot. I have songs old enough to drive a car. shrouded in placenta. I have songs chugging Jaeger at the bar. These songs just completed her bat mitzvah. That song started sprouting facial hair. This song slowly paying off a mortgage. That song qualifies for Medicare. I have songs wearing braces, others in dentures, songs who've had Everest climbing adventures, songs who birth babies without epidural, songs who are single with ex-husbands plural, songs swathing diapers, songs independent, songs who have married lovers and friends. I have songs fit to graduate from college. I have songs nearly ready to retire. I have songs tucked discreetly in the shadows. I have songs poised to set the world on fire. This song is as virginal as ages. That song has worn out her diaphragm. This song's skin is leathery as rawhide. That song is too old to give a damn. I have songs who are nursing, others in ashes, songs menopausal enduring hot flashes, songs whose phalanges have not finished fusing, songs who don't smile much but find life amusing. One for each moment I've muddled through, strange and chaotic, messy but true. People fill up their diaries and scrapbooks. People post their whole lives on Instagram. On that day I depart the world forever. I'll have songs to remind you who I am.
Mediocre Man is another song that I wrote for a contest that I did not win, and at that time it so happened that there was another song also called Mediocre Man that did win that contest. But to back it up a little bit, the inspiration for it was that I realized that there were all of these songs, these classic songs that talked about being in love with men who were kind of losers, such as Can't Help Loving That Man of Mine and Bill, and there's a whole catalog of these things. So I thought, okay, let's take this and really run with it. So here you have Mediocre Man.
Some ladies sigh and dream they'll get a swain with a gaily silhouette who quotes Baudelaire as he flirts, and then blows hot air up their skirts
So back in 2013, I had this grand ambition to write an entire song cycle comprised entirely of spam messages in my inbox. And then I quickly realized that that was not an idea that could sustain itself for an entire cycle. But I did write one song that was based on those emails. Particularly, I was getting several that had PEN1S in the title to avoid saying the word penis and therefore get through the filter to my inbox. So that's featured in there. And I had also around the same time seen the 1970s remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. And this was all at the same time that I realized I was one of the last holdouts in my circle of friends who still did not have an iPhone. And so all of those things combined, my attitude toward that is what resulted in this song. Take it away, Kate.
Deep inside my inbox, I've got a portal to a parallel freaky dimension where the swindle's the goal and the robot control. Dark, sticky crevices of cyberspace where the id knocks out the super ego, leaves it in the dumpster, then comes dashing to my doorstep screaming all these crazy offers for gullible and lonely aging men. How did this horse pucky wind up in here? I couldn't tell you, but one thing is clear: I am not who my spam thinks I am. I am not who my spam thinks I am. I'm offered a box of Huggies diapers for my non-existent baby, hot tips to be a never-ending pleasure machine, mysterious surprises from both UPS and FedEx, the biggest PEN1S the world's ever seen. Rewards for stellar driving, though I always take the subway, start smoking and quit smoking, earn my nursing degree, a cure for diabetes with the side of cheddar Pringles, Canadian prescriptions with the first bottle free. The grammar's a nightmare, the spelling is worse. That's how I know I'm not the target demographic. This damn superhighway puts brains in reverse. The lights are perma-green and goons direct the traffic. I'm offered naughty married cougars with their husbands on vacation, sugar babies' houses full of horny girls next door, horoscopes that let me sneak a peek into my future, a prophecy from Dr. Oz like never before, insurance for my living and insurance for my funeral, inheritance from relatives I'm suddenly owed, and all I have to do is share my 16-digit number, my date of expiration and security code. The spam bots are advancing. It won't be long now till the internet eats us for breakfast, while we drift off like drones with our thumbs up our phones. Just like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, we get tangled in the algorithm, mangled in the viruses. They've stolen all our data, they anticipate our urges, they know us better than we know ourselves. Click on these emails to cure all your ills, soak in a cesspool of porno and pills, eat, screw and gamble your troubles away. I'd rather die than be able to say that I am who my spam thinks I am, that I am who my spam thinks I am, that I am who my spam thinks I am.
Thanks again so much for tuning in. I feel I would be remiss if I didn't give a quick shout out to the teachers and the students. I know you are working harder than ever, and motivation sometimes is hard and energy levels are low, but from what I've gotten to check out of your performances and your work this year, it's been very inspiring to see from afar, and I know you're learning a lot, and all of the challenges you're pushing through now really will continue to inform you and help you in your field and in your journey, building your own career. So keep it up, keep up the motivation, keep figuring out ways to think outside the box and feed your soul. And I, for one, am very excited about the possibilities that this is forcing us to open up in our field. And I think this will help us come out even more innovative and strong than ever before. There's an excerpt of a song that I think fits really well with our times. I'm just going to sing a few lines, but it's from the larger piece, Inscription of Hope by Z. Randall Stroop. He sets lyrics that they say were inscribed on the walls of a cellar in Cologne, Germany, where Jews were hiding from the Nazis during World War II. And I think it's just unbelievably inspiring to think about how at the lowest points of someone's existence, they still have these words of hope. I believe in the sun, even when it is not shining, and I believe in love, even when there's no one there, and I believe in God, even when He is silent. I believe through any trial, there is always a way. Take care of yourself first and foremost. Find things to feed your soul. Keep singing, keep making beautiful music, and thank you so much for being a part of this fun experience for me, getting to share these great works with you today.